Wow, Dux, you sure found a lot of diamonds in that mining expedition. It looks like you're almost ready for PvP. Do you know what's better than regular diamond armor? Enchanted diamond armor. Do you have a way to obtain experience points? Do you know how to make an XP grinder? Aw, don't worry, buddy. I'm gonna show you how to make one. Hey guys, Marcelus here. Today I'm going to be going over how to make an efficient XP farm in Minecraft. Right now I am just at a zombie spawner I found, and before I do anything, I do have my brightness on, so that's why it's very bright even though they are still spawning. So I'm just gonna put some torches everywhere so they stop spawning. So what we're gonna do now is you're going to want to dig down 2 blocks from the spawner, the whole floor, 2 blocks down, and then from the back you're going to want to do 1 block back. On the sides you're going to want to do 1 block back, 1 block back, and then in the front you're going to want to pretty much have it so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your wall will be right here, so you have 4 blocks, and then 4 blocks on the back, 4 blocks on the sides, and everything like that. So I'm going to go to the finished product so you guys can see how it kind of looks. And here's the finished product. The white is marking exactly where the spawner is, and then as you can see there are 4 on the side, on all 4 sides, and then the white is exactly in the center where the spawner is, and you can see there's 2 on the top and 2 in the bottom. So this just kind of gives it the most efficient kind of little setup so that you can have a lot more spawns. Coming over here, I will place the water down for you in a second and get rid of the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to go directly underneath the spawner and you're going to look down and you're going to break that. You're going to break the one to the left, one behind it, and one to the right. So that way, if you're looking at the spawner, you have the 3 blocks broken. And then from there, you're going to want to kind of go in a little diagonal, just so that the water flow, it flows a lot nicer. And then once you kind of mine all of that out, you can go to your back left and then your back right and place your water down. And you can watch them all flow beautifully to the collection point that we have set up over there. And just to be safe, I recommend putting blocks on top of the spawner as well, just in case mobs do spawn up there. You don't have to worry about them just kind of getting stuck up there while you're trying to farm and everything like that. So once we just stand here for a little while and wait for 6 to spawn, I'm going to show you kind of how it works. And there's our 6. So the way that spawners work is that it can only kind of allow 6 zombies in this little area here. So because their heads are kind of sticking in the way of the spawner, it's still registering them as 6 zombies near there. So if we kind of open the hatch and let them fall down, 6 more zombies can spawn after these 6 get down there. So it's very, very important to have your collection point be a little bit further down, just so they're not being registered near the spawner. Otherwise your spawn rates are going to be very, very slow and it's going to be a terrible kind of XP grinder. So moving on, I'm going to show you guys kind of a better angle of the collection points. So we're just going to wait for our 6 to spawn, and we'll just wait right here. Alright, so our 6 mobs have spawned. We have 4 over there and 2 over here in this corner. So basically what I was explaining before, no more zombies can spawn in this area. The dimensions are 17 by 17 and then 9 tall. So you have 17 blocks going that way, 17 blocks going this way, and as you can see, it's 4 above the ground and then 4 on top of it. So this is the 5th block, and then 6, 7, 8, and then 9 on the ground. So you have your 8 blocks on either side, on all 4 sides of the spawner. If you're looking from directly up at the spawner, you have 8, 8, 8, and then 8, and then 9 tall. And as you can see, it's 4, and then 4, and then 9. If you kind of find a zombie and kind of indent him into the ground, we'll kind of drop him down. If we leave him in this corner right here, so he can't get out, it still counts him because his head is sticking into the little 17 by 17 area. So what you have to do is you have to drop him down 1 more so that his head is below the floor. and then another one will spawn in just a minute. So this part is very important when you have your collection point set up for your zombies, otherwise you're going to have 6 at a time and it can be a real hassle and it's going to take a lot longer than it actually could take. So I did find a triple cave spider spawner and I am going to bring you guys there so you guys can kind of see how it's naturally set up, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back and I am with the triple cave spider spawner. As you can tell, there are 2 right here, there's one right there, there's another one right there, and then the last one is over here. And now because they're close enough together, we can get a collection point where you can reach all 3 of the spawners. So I'll go over that in a little bit, but I just wanted to show you how it naturally looks. I did not touch any of this, it's exactly the same as when I found it. So they are possible to find, you just have to wander mine shafts, you know, and just kind of hope for the best. So the reason why I'm going to show you guys cave spider spawners today is because it's more likely that you're going to find multiple cave spider spawners together as opposed to a zombie, a spider, and, you know, random ones. So if you are looking to make a triple or a quadruple or anything like that kind of spawner so that you have a lot more XP coming in per minute, you're going to want to find cave spider spawners. So, you know, spend all your time, wander through mine shafts, and keep track of where you find them, otherwise you're going to get kind of confused and lost. So I'm going to kind of go over with you guys how to set up this exact spawner so that it is the most efficient way of farming, and I will be back again in a second. So for this step, I wanted to kind of go over with you how you can set up the spawners. You need to know how far away you can be in order for the spawner to still be activated and everything like that. So this is a big 16 radius circle, sphere technically, that I made with World Edit. So I can just kind of show you guys, no matter where I go in here, this spawner is going to be activated. You know, no matter how far down you go, it's still activated, and if you go all the way over to the side, it's still activated. But if you come down here and you're below the actual sphere, so technically you're supposed to be like right here in order for the spawner to register, but if you drop down, it's not going to register you. See, the particle effect kind of disappears. So if you're over here, no mobs are going to spawn from that no matter what you do. You have to be within reach of the spawner itself. So the way that this works is if you're standing directly right here, it looks like it's lit. But because your body is halfway down out of the circle, you're supposed to be like right here in order for it to register. Because it can't kind of see your feet and only your head is showing, it's not going to let any spiders spawn, even if I'm just standing here. So the rule kind of is you have to be up 1 for your whole body to be in here, and then we'll watch it for a second so you guys can see it spawns now. But if we stand down, even though it's glowing, it's not going to spawn because it doesn't register our whole body. So there's that, and I just wanted to kind of go over that with you guys. So you need to keep that in mind when you are finding spawners and trying to figure out where your collection point should be, and you know where you should kind of AFK, or you know get ready to kind of let your mobs build up before you start killing them. So there's that, and I'm going to go over to the next part and I will be right back. Alright, for this part we made a sort of little obstacle course here so I can show you guys the behavior of cave spiders before you kind of, you know, get in there and worry about your water and everything like that when you're getting ready to make your spawner. So I'm going to put myself in survival mode real quick, and while we are waiting, we're going to hit this button, and as you can see, this spider, it's tracking me instantly. If I put my game mode into creative, he's not going to be at all interested in me. So what we need to do is, you know, obviously you're going to be in survival, so he's going to be tracking you the whole time. So as you can see, he was going completely against the current, and over here he's on the wall. So what happens is he constantly hits his spacebar. So when spiders are going against the wall, they instantly always hit their spacebar to get up. And then now the next cool thing is when you let this spider loose, he can't get me because there's a little lip here. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it, but he's stuck because the ceiling is higher and there's this little closing area right here. So look, it looks like he's going to get me, but he glitches back up to the top, and I am still in survival, as you can tell, so he still can't get me. But if you come over here and you make the roof equal to the exit, he can get right out, and just like that. So knowing these things are essential to making an efficient XP farm with cave spiders. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys real quick, and now I will go on to the next part so you guys can see kind of how to get it set up. Okay, for this next example, I am going to show you guys kind of how to figure out how to get the collection point together. So this hole is basically where all of our spiders are going to be dropping into. And if I get a cave spider egg real quickly so I can show you guys exactly how it's going to work. As you can tell, the spawner over here is 8 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, away from the collection point, which is right here. This hole right here. So basically, you don't want it to intersect with the collection point, because remember we were going over before, 17 by 17 by 9. So we want to make sure that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the 9th block, you have the collection point. This is to make sure that the most amount of spawns possible is occurring. So that way when you have all of the spiders in this little area over here, you have a ton of spiders, it actually registers them. Even though they're inside of this block here, it registers them in this block and in this block. So you need to make sure that it's 1 block away from the spawner itself. And the same goes with the other ones. You need to make sure they're far enough away from the collection point that it doesn't affect their spawn rate. So moving on to the next one. Here is the exact same spawner. It's all set up with all of the water added and everything. So I'm going to kind of go over with you guys, just like in the obstacle course, how they kind of react to the water itself. So what happens is they're all fine and normal right now, like they're not really doing anything because I am in creative, so they're not kind of being drawn to me. But as you can tell, this is our collection point. It's far enough away from all of them, but it still has them spawning. So the way this works is water flow with cave spiders is so much simpler to do than anything else, because they completely ignore water flow when they're going directly towards a player. So if we have a player down here, waiting, or AFK or something, waiting for all of the cave spiders to kind of gather together, even the spiders that are all the way over here are going to be drawn towards that player. Like, their radius for tracking a player is so huge that it doesn't matter what the water flow is exactly doing. So this water flow, if we block this off real quick, it's only going to reach right here. And as you can tell, the spiders can't get up. They can't jump that block and then get back into the water. So what you need to do is you need to add 2 rows. So you have your back row, it's regular water flow, but because it's not moving, it doesn't matter, because these spiders aren't going to be spawning all the way back here. So as you can tell, they're spawning, they can get up there perfectly fine. And if they're tracking a player, it is so much faster. And as you can see, these signs are here to prevent the water flow from being messed up. So all that matters pretty much when you're making a spawner is that the water flow is going towards the hole, that the collection point that they're going into. So as you can tell, this water, if I jump into it, it's going to push me directly into this hole. And that's all you need to worry about when it comes to cave spider spawners, is the collection point hole, the water around it. You need to make sure that the cave spiders kind of have that little extra boost to get into the hole. And as you can tell, this little area here that doesn't have water doesn't affect them at all. They're not going to get stuck there. You don't have to worry about it. Especially when they're tracking a player, you don't have to worry about it at all. If I'm standing here and we're waiting for all the spiders to kind of, get over here, and I take myself out of creative, and we can watch them kind of track me. And as you can see, they fly over here because they're completely attracted to me over here with me in survival. So as you can tell, all the spawners are completely enabled and they're spawning like crazy. So let me get rid of them real quick. So that way we can just kind of watch them spawn a little bit better. And as you can tell, right when they spawn, they instantly fly directly towards the hole because I'm standing under here. So what people generally do on servers is they kind of AFK in this little spot as long as you can kind of reach all 3 of the spawners. You know, it's within the 16 radius of the spawner itself. They just kind of stand here, and this is kind of the collection point. So you're just going to AFK here for 10 minutes, you know, 20 minutes, whatever you want. And then when you come back, they're going to be completely stacked, and you can just kind of whack at them forever, and you will be in heaven with XP. So that's kind of how cave spiders work, and I can come back up here and kind of show you guys exactly how it's set up again. But again, like I said, water flow does not matter. They can climb water, see how they can just climb this water. They can go against water currents. The only thing that matters is the collection point at the drop. So you need to make sure the water is going in the right direction to kind of give them that little boost to push them into the hole. So it's really kind of simple, and cave spiders are the simplest to do with water flow. So if you want to have multiple spawners, and you can find quadruple spawners in regular wilderness, you will just find it randomly spawned on the map. So you can have 4, you can have 5 spawners. It's really kind of just, you gotta look for it and know where to look for it. So just, you know, hang out in mine shafts, wander a lot, and sometimes you get really lucky. I just wanted to kind of go over with you guys the lip on the wall ceiling area thing that I was talking about before. So we have Ducks the Name here. He is in survival mode, so once the mobs start spawning, you can see that they're going to kind of glitch out and get stuck on the ceiling, and they're not going to really get to the collection point. One of them will, but not all of them. And no matter where he stands, they're just going to be stuck on this lip in here. So if we come in here and we break the lip, they're going to stop climbing, and they're going to just drop down into the collection point. Like so. And then when more spawn, they're going to just keep doing the same thing. So as you can see, they climb a little bit at first, and if you're in the red right here, because you're aligned with the wall, they're just gonna climb the walls, and if you're in the yellow, they're gonna get stuck right here. But if you stand in the green, they're gonna fall right into the collection point, and it's gonna be perfect. So of course this situation is different because your spawner is most likely not going to look like this. But as you can tell, remember how I was talking about how important it is for the water flow to be aiming towards the collection point. So what we have here is we have a little extra water, and it's going to start pushing the water into the collection point, just in case some do get stuck. So as you can tell, this one is stuck right here. So if we wanted to add another little area, just like we did over there, to push the water towards it, he's not going to be stuck anymore. So just the water flow, again, is very, very important near the collection point, and that is the main thing you need to worry about with cave spider spawners. And also the lip thing, you don't want to have that extra lip. You want the ceiling to be exactly the same as the drop point. So I just wanted to go over with you guys about that real quick, just in case some of you didn't understand. And I hope you guys learned some things. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I hope to see you guys next time. Stay on the lookout for more how-to videos that Ducks and I will be doing together. And we will also be starting a Let's Play series very, very soon. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys learned a million things, and take care guys. See you later.